I have to leave Ireland and I have to leave Scotland, where I have great properties. I have to leave early. I don't have to, but I choose to.
Will you attend the trial, Mr. President?
I'll probably attend. It's a disgrace that it's allowed to happen. It's called false accusations against a rich guy, or in my case, against a famous, rich, and political person that's leading the polls by 40 points. And I have to go back for a woman that made a false accusation about me, and I have a judge who's extremely hostile. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to confront this one. This woman is a disgrace, and it shouldn't be allowed to happen in our country.
From back in May when Donald Trump fled to Scotland and Ireland, claimed he was doing some groundbreaking. He was just shoveling dirt. That was at the E. Jean Carroll federal defamation and sexual abuse trial, where Donald Trump was ultimately found liable for both sexual abuse and defamation. Refused to show up and testify, but you heard him say, I'm going to return. I have to go back. I'm going to show up. I have to confront E. Jean Carroll. No, you didn't. You fled. You did not show up at the trial. And most recently, Donald Trump blamed his lawyer, Joe Tacopina. Here's the post that Donald Trump made and said, I did not get good advice. That was not good advice, and that he should have testified, but he didn't show up. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network, and look, we were able to predict with full accuracy that Donald Trump was not going to show up at the New York Attorney General civil fraud case because we could look at all of these data points. As I've described on the MeidasTouch podcast, it's like a meteorologist kind of predicting weather patterns. You don't always get it right, but if you follow the clouds, you can predict a storm. You could predict a sunny day. Again, some days it rains, some days you miss the data, but all of the data points are here that reflect that Donald Trump is a complete and total coward. And so we knew Donald Trump was not going to show up. I'll give you another data point. So we showed you that first clip in the video. That was at the E. Jean Carroll federal trial. And Donald Trump does the same shtick. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to show up. I'm going to confront the witness. Then he doesn't do it, has his lawyers file all of these documents. This was when Donald Trump was subpoenaed by the January 6th committee. Remember that? And Alina Habba went on all the media networks, did the same exact shtick that she did in the New York Attorney General civil fraud case. And she said, Donald Trump is going to show up. In all of my cases, he shows up. He's got nothing to hide. Here, play this clip.
He's got a couple options here. He can ignore the subpoena and maybe run into a Bannon world, or he can go and plead the fifth, or he can go and testify. Any idea what you think he's going to do, and what would you recommend?
I would recommend that he cooperate, because when you have nothing to hide, that's what I always recommend. The same reason that he always comes out and speaks on any of my cases. He has no issue being deposed, even though the left-wing media would like to pretend that he does. He has no issue being subpoenaed and answering questions about what happened that day, and he shouldn't. What he did was very public, and it was really nothing other than to say to go out peacefully, as we know.
And it wasn't just Alina Habba, it was Eric Trump as well. Remember Eric Trump spoke at that QAnon conference, whatever they're calling it these days, Awaken, or whatever the heck they're calling it, that they host at the Trump properties, among other properties. And Eric says, my father finally got the subpoena from the J6 committee. I told him, you're going to have to testify. What great entertainment would that be? Here, play this clip.
My father finally got a subpoena from the January 6th committee. Did anybody see this? This hoax committee, and I'm telling you, I told him a minute ago, I go, you have to go testify. You know what? Because it'll be the greatest entertainment. Who wants to pop a beer, make some popcorn, and watch Donald Trump talk about election fraud in the United States of America?
And then also, Donald Trump said he would testify at the Trump University trial. He did not testify there. So you put all of these data points together, and it's obvious that Donald Trump was going to chicken out and not show up at the New York Attorney General civil fraud case. But remember what Alina Habba said a few days ago. She said, Donald Trump will take the stand on Monday, she said. He will open himself up for whatever because he's got nothing to hide. People who are afraid to cower, they don't show up, but Trump doesn't cower. Play this clip of Alina Habba.
He is so firmly against what is happening in this court and so firmly for the old America that we know, not this America, that he will take that stand on Monday. He will open himself up to whatever they want because he's not afraid. People that are afraid cower. President Trump doesn't cower. We'll be back on Monday.
And then remember a few days ago as well, Alina Habba also said that, look, first off, she like reveals attorney-client confidences, but they're all fake conversations anyway. So it's like a fake waiver of attorney-client privilege because everything out of her mouth is a lie. But she goes, I told Donald Trump, since that gag order's been reimposed on you, I told him not to show up because there's a lot of ruckus going on, and I told him he shouldn't respect the court. That's what Alina Habba says. I mean, it's just the most awful things that spew from her mouth. And she says, though, here, Trump's not going to back down. He was going to show up on Monday. Here, play this clip.
Can you tell us now whether or not he will definitely testify on Monday, Alina?
Yeah, let me be very clear. I discouraged the former president from getting on a stand with a gag order. I would never discourage the former president from testifying because quite honestly, our plan up until now was to have him testify. He always wanted to testify, and he should testify. When he has nothing to hide, it's the best thing you could do is put this great witness on that is going to stand up and tell you the truth. But the judge in this matter this week, we asked him to lift the gag order so that he could testify fully and completely. If he sees people whispering and creating a ruckus next to him, and he has a right to address that so that the record is complete, and so do his lawyers. That was why we said, this is not fair, this is rigged, this is a banana republic. Don't give them the energy of you coming in the room. Now, he already has taken the stand on this case. He took the stand on the case in the AG's case. Now we want him on our case. But I would say, and I still say, that having any client get on a stand with a gag order as limited or large as this is a First Amendment violation, and you should not respect the court and give them the opportunity to hear you. But he is going to take the stand regardless, and he will navigate it.
And then, of course, Donald Trump didn't show up. We showed you the post that he made where Donald Trump said, I will not be testifying on Monday, MAGA! Exclamation point. And look, number one, it's embarrassing. He's pathological. There's a lot we can evaluate from a domestic perspective of, again, Donald Trump just continuing to lie. Just an embarrassing, awful, humiliating lie about, I'm going to show up, I'm going to show up. I don't show up, I don't show up. It's the same pattern over and over and over again. But here's the thing, too. Donald Trump is a wannabe strongman. Donald Trump is a wannabe authoritarian. He's the authoritarian's sidekick. He is the dictator's sidekick, fulfilling whatever pathological issues he had with his father, Fred. I mean, Donald Trump looks up to real strong men, people like a Kim Jong-un or an MBS, people like Vladimir Putin, and Trump, again, not showing any strength. He admires them, and they know that all you have to do with Trump is basically call him sir, or say your excellency, or just say something. He's as weak as can be. They know this weakness. I mean, look, we know the pathology here at the MeidasTouch Network. You think that the KGB, you think that the intelligence services in Saudi Arabia and North Korea don't know what's going on. Of course they know. Let me show you here. Here's Donald Trump bragging that the Taliban called him Your Excellency. Play this clip.
And he said, may I ask you a question, Your Excellency? He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls Biden Your Excellency. I don't think so. He said.
And here's Donald Trump. And this is the famous clip of Trump embarrassing and disgracing our country at Helsinki. Putin's laughing because he's like, this person's so weak. This person's so weak. Play the clip.
First question for you, sir, is who do you believe? My second question is, would you now, with the whole world watching, tell President Putin, would you denounce what happened in 2016, and would you warn him to never do it again?
So let me just say that we have two thoughts. You have groups that are wondering why the FBI never took the server. Haven't they taken the server? Why was the FBI told to leave the office of the Democratic National Committee? I've been wondering that. I've been asking that for months and months, and I've been tweeting it out and calling it out on social media. Where is the server? I want to know, where is the server, and what is the server saying? With that being said, all I can do is ask the question. My people came to me, Dan Coates came to me, and some others. They said they think it's Russia. I have President Putin. He just said it's not Russia. I will say this. I don't see any reason why it would be, but I really do want to see the server. But I have confidence in both parties. I really believe that this will probably go on for a while, but I don't think it can go on without finding out what happened to the server. What happened to the servers of the Pakistani gentlemen that worked on the DNC? Where are those servers? They're missing. Where are they? What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails, gone, just gone. I think in Russia they wouldn't be gone so easily. I think it's a disgrace that we can't get Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails. So I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today. And what he did is an incredible offer. He offered to have the people working on the case come and work with their investigators with respect to the 12 people. I think that's an incredible offer. Okay, thank you.
Fundamentally, I think that's something that we need to just call out. It's cowardice. It's weakness masquerading as strength. There's nothing strong about that. It is all pathological to cover up the core weakness right there over and over again. And we see it there in all of those examples that I shared. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your support. And have a great day.
Thanks so much for watching. We're only a few subscribers short of 2 million subs. Please subscribe right now to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel for free and help us grow this unapologetically pro-democracy network.